Oh boy. Well, tensions are escalating in Minneapolis after ICE, another ICE agent, was attacked while attempting to detain an illegal immigrant, prompting Donald Trump to possibly put in the Insurrection Act. And according to DHS, ICE officers were ambushed with a snow shovel and broomstick. Meanwhile, Trump is easing tensions with Iran after executions have been paused, allegedly, though U.S. military assets remain on standby as warnings continue. Plus, we also have senators scrutinizing the abortion pill, the Biden-era policies, and growing concerns over mifepristone, I'm probably mispronouncing that, it's early, being distributed without in-person medical oversight, and a lot more to cover today, folks. It's good to see all of you. This is a Friday episode, meaning it's more loosey-goosey, meaning we don't do show prep for Friday episode. It's kind of like an opportunity to have a day off here and kind of just see where things take us. Shoot from the hip a little bit. Well, I have been hearing a lot of people talking about implementing the Insurrection Act, and that Donald Trump should, based on kind of what's going on out there in the ether. So we have this here. I'll get it up for you guys. I'm clicking on wrong buttons here. As tensions remain high in Minneapolis following another ICE shooting on Wednesday, President Trump is threatening to invoke a centuries-old law. According to the Department of Homeland Security, an agent was attempting to detain an illegal immigrant when the man fled on foot. As the agent caught up to him, two more illegal immigrants emerged from a nearby apartment and began attacking him with a snow shovel and a broomstick, DHS said. Wow. It's almost like what we saw with that Nick Shirley video yesterday of, you get one Somali out there and then they just all start coming out there wanting to attack you. These people are violent, man. And, people would say like one of the American, I'm not even going to call it a value, American stereotype is, violent. If you kind of look back in history, there's an element of truth to that on how people view us. And I'm not going to say violent, I'm going to say rugged. And if you go back, and I'm talking even back to the founding, it's really always been this way, is that we just are a little bit different than any other nation out there. We're a little bit more rugged. A lot of people like to look at Hollywood or New York City with the way things look. Like they look at the Kardashians and these celebrities like, oh, okay, that's how everybody lives. No, the vast majority of Americans aren't anything like the coastal areas. A lot of middle America is what? Oh, we're rugged people. I know I'm on the East Coast, but I side with the people in middle America. I've talked to a lot of them. I played a lot of hockey. I've been around the block a little bit. My family used to camp all the time. My dad was a miner. Used to do underwater dredging for gold all the time. And if anybody knows anything, you're going to some weird towns, man, with some weird rivers, and you're meeting some weird people. And you know what? Even though they're weird, they're extremely nice. And a lot of them, surprisingly, are extremely wealthy, too. You would never know. I don't know how I got there. Oh, yeah, rugged. Americans are rugged. Like we're start going into mining, underwater dredging. That's what we do here. The agent fired a shot in self-defense, striking the first man in the leg. Wasn't this what I was reading yesterday? And you guys told me that, because I said the ICE agent got shot. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I messed up yesterday. Okay, settle down, it's Friday. Had a long week. All three men. I've had such a long week. We started a little bit later. I freaking spilled my damn coffee this morning. I want to see if there's remnants of it around the cup. Yeah, there is. You can't see it. It's like, those old movies. Oh, God damn it, Jim. When nobody's around, it's just you that caused the problem. You know what I mean? It's like 5:30 in the morning. You're trying to scramble to get everything prepared. Tired as hell. You just spilt hot ass coffee all over your foot, all over the counter. Oh, God damn it, Becky. And there's nobody around to like yell at. That didn't really happen like that. I was just like, oh, that sucks. I got to prepare a new cup of coffee now. I just love those old 80s movies, Bill Burr had such a great bit where he gets home from a long day's work and, there's another tuna casserole waiting for him. And he sits down at the table with his wife. And his first bite, he goes, oh, God damn it, Caroline, you burned the shit out of it. And he starts railing into his wife. And the whole bit is kind of the idea of, they don't make women like they used to, where you can come home and just take your day out on her. It's kind of a joke of the bit. Anyways, Bill Burr's great. His politics have changed a lot, but he's still funny. Anywho. All right, where were we? Told you it's Friday episode. It's a little bit looser. Trump threatened. Oh, wait, it says, so all three were detained. Oh, great. After beating the guy, pummeling him with a snow shovel and broomstick. That's always fun. Then threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act. Can I just say, doesn't it sound silly? And it almost sounds like I'm joking. When I kind of really quickly go, oh, yeah, well, great. They were finally detained after beating the crap out of the guy with a snow shovel and a broomstick. It literally sounds like a joke. It sounds like I'm being a smart aleck. Like I'm being satirical. Almost like when you throw something out there like, oh, yeah, well, after you kind of pummeled the guy to death with a, jackhammer. It sounds so preposterous and so silly that you're kind of like, okay, I mean, it's funny. I don't see that really happening, but it's funny. This really happened. On Thursday, Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act unless the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE. See, what's funny is we live in the upside down. It's like we're in Stranger Things, where the ICE agents are the bad guys. The actual bad guys that came here illegally, that broke the law, that are beating the crap out of DHS agents with snow shovels and broomsticks. No, those are the good guys. Yeah, it's flipped. Oh, yeah, the people that are committing millions, if not billions of dollars in fraud, those are the good guys. You don't want to lock those guys up. Are you crazy? No, you want to lock up the people that are going after the people that are fraudsters. Yes, you go after the cops. ICE agents are the bad guys. The illegal immigrants committing heinous crimes in this country. Those are the good guys. Are you kidding me? You guys been having this all wrong. Yeah. I don't know what you were all thinking in the chat. Yeah, we're for ICE. We stand with that. What, are you kidding me? No, those are the bad guys. Obviously, I'm being facetious. I'm being a smartass. I stand with ICE. I stand with law. And I stand with the president. I try my best to be a law-abiding citizen. Do I go over the speed limit every now and then? I like to go with the flow of traffic. Traffic's doing 80, I'm doing 80. Traffic's doing 60, I'm doing 60. I go with the flow of traffic. Look, I don't want to be the cause of other people's problems. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I guess who doesn't speed every now and then? You know what I mean? Who doesn't? I guess I got to be a little bit more careful in California, though, now because they're going to have speeding cameras. Isn't that fun? Where are we at? The 1807 law authorized the president to deploy the military on U.S. soil to suppress an insurrection or violent unrest when the state is unable to do so. It also applies to cases in which a state is unable to or unwilling to enforce federal law. Gee, sounds like every Democrat-ran state. I mean, that's practically the entire state of Minnesota right now. Cases in which a state is unable or unwilling to enforce federal law. California's one of them. Oregon's one of them. Washington's one of them. Illinois is one of them. New York is one of them. I mean, well, we can go down the list here. A lot of them. Oh boy, there's a lot of them. So we have this here. J.P. Pritzker has he has a message for Trump. God, dude. Pull back from the camera, bro. Can you imagine if I was doing the show like this? Donald Trump is a fascist. He's a dictator. And, well, he's going to destroy the country if he continues doing this stuff. You know, hold on, let me try to get that box going for you. That's how close he is. Can you imagine me doing... Can you hear me? Is it on? Jeez, bro, pull back a little bit here. God.
And as long as you maintain the peaceful part of the peaceful protest, it is hugely beneficial. It does not give them an excuse to bring in troops. If you're out there loud, blowing your whistles, walking on the side.
Yeah, it turns out we have noise ordinances, buddy. Yeah, we have noise ordinance. You don't get to do that. And by the way, I think there's a conversation to be had is there structural ear damage inside of you blowing something in somebody's ear? Just curious.
sidewalk and videoing, very important. Everybody pull out your phones because it's allowing us to keep them accountable. We took them to court here and won over and over again as a result of the evidence that we were able to put together. So it's awful what's happening right now. And of course, just to remind you that the feds are supposed to be fighting to protect your civil rights, not to take them away. And the Insurrection Act is designed only for circumstances where
I just go back. I'll finish it. Look, I'm going to pause it. We're here for commentary and a good time. We'll finish it. Want to make 2 points. The first one, you have to listen to him because he doesn't have a tie on. Yeah. He's been working hard, right? It's kind of like when you come in the office and you roll up the sleeves. You're working real hard. I just want to point out the hypocrisy in this.
Feds are supposed to be fighting to protect your civil rights, not to take them away.
Buddy, your whole party didn't want to give people civil rights. Yeah, that was the history of the Democrat Party. Welcome to the conversation, Pritzker. Yes, sir. You want to know what? A lot of people wouldn't have those civil rights if it wasn't for what party? Yeah, they had most of the votes. Yeah, it's called the Republican Party, Pritzker. Welcome. Jeez, man. And I love how he's going to talk about, well, they're going to take your rights away. Kind of like you guys been doing with our Second Amendment right. And I love how it's like he's talking about the First Amendment rights. Y'all remember when Joey was going after First Amendment? Remember when Barack Obama was going after journalists? Yeah. Remember when the Department of Homeland Security wanted to put forth the Ministry of Truth to tell you what you could and couldn't say? Remember when the Democrat Party was utilizing big tech companies to deplatform conservatives, Republicans for saying as a man is a man, as a woman is a woman? Remember, everybody remember that? It's a blast from the past, I know. What a rich statement coming from Pritzker. Oh boy, but you have to listen to him. Like I said, he doesn't have a tie on.
And the Insurrection Act is designed only for circumstances where your rights can't be protected by, local authorities.
That's not what it says. We're going to go back. That's not what it says. Yeah. It says the law authorized the president to deploy the military on U.S. soil to suppress an insurrection or violent unrest when the state is unable to do so, or the state is unable or unwilling to enforce federal law. Yeah.
Or by whatever federal authorities are already there. And then, only then, can federal troops be brought in to protect your civil rights. This is exactly the opposite. It's like they've turned it on its head.
So it's very political, very evil, very disgusting how you're going to flip this whole thing into your rights. They're going to take your rights away, you guys.
And your civil rights are being infringed upon by CBP and ICE. And then are being infringed upon. First civil rights are being infringed upon. First civil rights are being infringed upon by. First civil rights are being infringed upon by CBP. First civil rights are being infringed upon by.
Where do I know that word infringe? Where do we all know that word infringe from? Carry the one, drop the two. Second Amendment? Oh, you mean the rights that you infringe on me all the time? Gee, there's a specific firearm that I'm not even allowed to use starting this year in the state of California. It's called a GLA and ends with a K. It's called a Glock. Yeah. Oh, we want to remove the AR-15 too. Yeah, it's got a choice of action. Yeah, it's a choice of a lot of Americans. It's interesting how you see all this twisting. Oh, this is silly, dude. This guy's silly.
CBP.
He's high on Coca-Cola.
And ICE, and then they want to call in troops on top of that, not to protect your civil rights, but claiming that they're protecting CBP and ICE, and it's just false. It's a bunch of lies. We need to stand up and speak out about it and be loud for America.
Get off the screen, Pritzker, freaking idiot. God. How you ever got in office? I don't know. Somebody idiotically voted for you. Well, there's this clip going viral of the White House press briefing. So I'm going to show you 2 clips here, and let me get the other one queued up for you. Matter of fact, I'll do that while we are watching Caroline Leavitt laying the groundwork for Trump invoking the insurrection ahead of the midterm. So here she was during the White House press briefing, and then I'll have another clip for you.
The Insurrection Act is a tool at the president's disposal. As you know, it has been used sparingly, but it has been used by previous presidents in American history. And I think the president's Truth Social post spoke very loud and clear to Democrats across this country, elected officials who are using their platforms to encourage violence against federal law enforcement officers, who are encouraging left-wing agitators to unlawfully obstruct legitimate law enforcement operations. And if you talk to any law enforcement officer, no matter what level they work at, they want to be working with their counterparts, whether that's at the federal level or the federal authorities wanting to work with their counterparts at the state and local level. And it's truly shameful that now for more than a year, you've had elected Democrat governors and mayors who have basically held their state and local law enforcement hostage and told them, you cannot cooperate with federal law enforcement. Why? They cooperated under the Biden administration. It's because these Democrats are deranged in their hatred for President Trump, and they are holding their state and local law enforcement hostage as a result. And these Democrat mayors and governors are doing this over what? Over the lawful and legitimate law enforcement operations to remove violent criminals from the streets of Minnesota, from the streets of California, from the streets of New York, and from the streets of every state across this country. And you don't see these riots and this vandalism taking place in states like Florida. Why? Because you have a governor in that state who has empowered federal and local authorities to work together. And it's despicable what we're seeing from these Democrat politicians, especially in sanctuary states and cities across the country.
I mean, look, she ain't wrong. I will let you know. I'll let you know. I love how Chris, I was laughing because Chris goes, I hear a baby. Dude, I was looking around too. Because I got like 7.1 surround sound, dude. I could hear people's thoughts in that room. And I'm like, what is that? I'm like, dude, do I hear a baby? It's not me. It's somebody in the room. Yeah, I heard a baby too. I was like, what the heck is that? It's just the Democrats. Chris, you were just hearing Democrats. Don't worry about it. Yeah, those are the babies. All right. Well, the clip that was going viral, and look, this is our bread and butter, baby, is the White House press briefing. And this is what's going viral here. You have a reporter duking it out with Caroline Leavitt. This is what I've been asking for years. I should say years. Yes, but more specifically when Donald Trump came in office and she took the podium. Remember how I said, hey, I want Caroline Leavitt to be calling out reporters and stop this nonsense of like, well, there's people in this room that are causing problems. No, you need to start duking it out with these people. And guess what? Oh boy, was she a firecracker in this one. Caroline Leavitt dukes it out with a reporter.
Two questions. First, a follow-up on one of my colleagues who asked you about the president's interview with Reuters. You said that he was joking about canceling the elections, but Americans for generations have fought and died for democracy, for this democracy. Are you saying that the president finds the idea of canceling elections funny?
Andrew, were you in the room? No, you weren't. I was in the room. I heard the conversation, and only someone like you would take that so seriously and pose it as a question in that way.
And then second,
Caroline,
next
Thank you, Caroline. Senator Elizabeth Warren said that the president called her earlier this week to discuss caps on credit card interest rates. I'm curious, would the president work with her and other Democrats in Congress on a legislative fix to this issue?
I think the president would work in good faith with anyone in Congress for a good legislative fix that would benefit the American people. And that's precisely why he called Senator Warren earlier this week on that matter.
Thanks, Caroline. Earlier, you were just defending ICE agents generally. And earlier on, Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 U.S. citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my
Yeah.
opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed it unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist. Kelly.
Wow, that's how it's done, folks. That is some Kayleigh McEnany-esque. And do you notice, can I go back to his question? Just listen to what he said, because it's such a twist. And this is something I've actually heard from many, many people. Just want to point something out here.
But you're pretending, reporter with a left.
Doing everything correctly.
What?
70 U.S. citizens.
Listen that part.
32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 U.S.
So the premise, right? The premise of the question is talking about ICE isn't doing everything correctly. Automatically, it's a silly question because nobody does everything 100% correctly. It's a silly question. It's automatically already biased. Automatically. But here's the issue, is that when you talk about ICE, people dying in ICE custody, what that makes it believe is that ICE is the one that's just, oh, well, they're just acting recklessly and just deleting people. I think Caroline caught on to that. That's why she asked him, well, what do you think Renee Good was doing? You know, what do you think ICE is? And he goes, well, ICE was acting recklessly. That was the premise of the question. And it gives you evidence that the question itself was biased. But listen to the next part.
32 people died in ICE custody last year.
Listen to this.
170 U.S. citizens were detained by ICE.
Detained by ICE, not arrested. Detained by ICE. People will take this and go, oh, look at, they're arresting American citizens. They're locking them up. They're disappearing. We don't know where Uncle Joe went. Must I remind our other American friends that, let's say I am harboring an illegal alien in my house. Let's just say. And DHS shows up on my door, and says, hey, we got a warrant for that guy right there. I want Enrique. Well, you know, I could be in the process of saying, no, you're not coming in, even though they have a warrant. I could be detained while they get that illegal immigrant off the premises, and I would be in that number. Just for the fact that I was just in the area too, I could be detained. Because they want to get the situation under control. They don't know if you have a firearm. You could have been doing something silly. You could have been actually breaking the law and they just detained you and they let you go. They were being a nice guy. This whole question is completely biased. And he shows his whole bias in this. And kudos to him for not hiding it. Well, I thought he acted recklessly. Not that she acted recklessly. Remember, whenever you hear somebody kind of just give one side of the story, you got to have your antennas go up because it's a little odd. I want to hear his answer again.
And wait till I'm doing it. Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed it unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So
right there. Act recklessly and unjustifiable. But notice that there was nothing on her side. She didn't act. Oh, she was an angel. She acted perfectly. She never put herself in a situation to be deleted. She never put herself in a situation that could be reckless behavior. She never was out there going after ICE in a way that she shouldn't be, meaning going after them, of yelling at them, screaming at them, putting herself in a rough situation that could lead to rough consequences or rough outcomes. No. This right here, and she is so right to call him an activist. This happens in the education system. This happens in the entertainment industry. A lot of these people are not reporters. They were not trained as reporters. They were trained to be activists. And this is who these outlets are looking for. They're not looking for people to go investigative journalism like you see with Nick Shirley. They're not going out there catching the fraud that they used to in the 60s, 70s, and 80s as an actual journalists. No, their job is propaganda. Their job is to take this noggin, right, and not use it and give you a bunch of bull crap and give your opinion. Guess what? Don't want to hear from this guy ever again. I don't care about his questions. I don't care what he has to say. There's other people in this room that she should spend her time with. You just got blacklisted, buddy. I don't care what you have to say. I don't want to hear your questions anymore. It's a waste of time. You can join the room, and right there says everything you need to know. And I'm not for that guy not getting questions anymore. But you know what? I think we could skip him for a little while. Just a little while. Mm-hmm. Because all you know you're going to get is a biased question, trying to get a gotcha moment. You might look, there's a bunch of other reporters in that room that want to actually do real journalism and ask real questions, like Philip Wegman, who was asked a question right before that. We love Phil. And by the way, I don't even know Phil's politics. I have been try to be careful with my words. I like Phil. I like Phil a lot. I've talked to Phil. I've personally talked to Phil. I don't care about his politics. I want him to know that I like the questions he's asking. Not all of them, of course. You're not always going to get the questions you want. He works for an outlet. He works for Real Clear Politics. But the guy does his damn job well. He's an actual journalist. That's the thing. He's an actual journalist. I've physically told him, I don't care about your politics. I just really appreciate the work that you do. And so does my audience. So anyways, shout out to Phil. We love Phil here. All righty. Where was I? Okay, so that was the Insurrection Act. Jeez, man. that was a lot for one story, huh? By the way, whatever happened to the new media press seat and stuff like that? Like, dude, I put in my name so long ago. I never got invited. You know what I mean? Dude, like, I understand I don't have a big platform, but I will say I was one of the main people to be broadcasting the White House press briefing for 4 years. I mean, I made that like the movie, the television show, The West Wing. I don't give myself a pat on the back all too often. But if you noticed, people started like treating Benny Johnson started doing the White House press briefings after, all these people. If you go back, not many people were streaming this stuff like I was, doing videos of it and stuff like that. And, going over the antics and the politics of the room and knowing everybody's name and how they act. Like, dude, I hate to say it. I was on the forefront of that movement. That's for damn sure. Now everybody streams the White House press briefings, right? The Daily Wire, Benny Johnson, like everybody does it. It's like, bro, we were doing that before you were. You took my idea. So now we got to do something new. Remember the White House briefing were on like keep applying? Yeah, maybe I should throw it in again. All right, where are we at here? Trump eases tensions with Iran, but military threat remains. I think you always want to keep that on the table. Like we said, a lot of you felt that, Brad, it was Riley Gaines and it was her baby you heard. Oh, okay. There you go. Oh, we got to answer, Chris. It was Riley Gaines' baby. I'm not for American strikes, but when we did the poll, was it yesterday or the day before, a lot of you were. I respect that. And look, we're all back and we're all together, even though we disagree. That's how I roll. I mean, I may not agree. That's fine. Life goes on. We're back here another day, living our lives, eating food, going to work, going through what some people call the shit. We're all going through it. Where are we at here? So Trump keeps the world on edge as he plans for Iran. With his plans for Iran, on Tuesday, speculation circulated that an American strike against Iran is coming soon. Iran closed its airspace. A report said some American personnel were evacuating the region. I did hear that as well. I heard that from the intel guy on TikTok. But Trump took a step back, telling reporters that his administration had been informed that the Iranian regime had stayed executions scheduled for Wednesday, meaning looks like they paused them. Still, reports suggest the United States is moving military assets into the region, and the White House insists that Trump has not ruled out military action. The situation between Washington and Tehran remains tense. Senators scrutinize abortion pill is the next one. They kind of just have a typo there, but you kind of know that something's going to happen is because, where'd it go? Trying to see where it was at. It was the part where they said basically removing American personnel right there. American personnel were evacuating the region. That's usually the first tell that something's going to happen that's going to happen militarily. And I'll give you an example. So before Trump ever bombed Iran for their nuclear sites, I did a video on TikTok about, I want to say 24, 48 hours before that happened. And the title of it was "Something Big is About to Happen Over There." And dude, people were pummeling, you don't know shit. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Dude, 24, 48 hours. Guess what happened? You want to know why I put that video out? Is because of that right there. When people start evacuating and it's American personnel, you know some stuff is going down big time. And so I'm not saying he is going to do it. I hope he doesn't. People need to advocate for themselves in their own country. We can't just keep doing this all the time. I understand it's a strike. I understand we're not putting boots on the ground, blah, blah, blah. We have boots on the ground. Almost positive we got people probably in the CIA over there. Wouldn't surprise me. So we'll see what happens with it. But he has not ruled out military action. I mean, what are you gonna bomb? Like more of their military installations and use it as an opportunity because the government is weak? Maybe. I don't know. Senators scrutinize abortion pill. Senators heard testimony this week about the abortion pill, now by far the leading means of abortion in the United States. Particularly at issue is the Biden-era policy that stripped away the requirement that a woman consult with a physician in person before taking the pill. Mifepristone? How do you say that? Mifepristone? I'm sorry. I'm not a good reader. I read no good. Bill Cassidy, a physician, spoke to Morning Wire about the recent congressional hearing on abortion pills. According to Cassidy, Americans need to be better informed about the risks. He also said that lawmakers need to reverse Biden-era rules that allow people to obtain the pills without an in-person interview with a doctor. That change could eliminate cases in which someone else ordered the abortion pill and forced the pregnant woman to take them. I mean, that's true. I would imagine that's a very small percentage of people. But, there's a small percentage of people that murder people as well. Shouldn't do it. Yeah, it turns out you shouldn't be deleting people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Caveat, innocent people. Innocent people. I'm not a big fan of terrorists. Let's see what we have here else in the news. How's everybody doing in the chat, by the way? And you guys keep telling me to apply. I'll apply again. We'll see. I'll put my name in the hat. I keep looking over here, but by the way, don't you love that everybody tells each other good morning in here? Don't you love that? We have such a good community, man. We're a good, humble, well, mostly humble community. We get a little crazy every now and then, don't we? Oh, I got to share this with you. Oh my God. Okay. This is more personal than it is like anything else. Dude, I've been waiting so long for this moment. Just let me take this in. I didn't really have an opportunity last night to like really absorb it. And I am not sugarcoating this. Is a big deal for me. And I think it's going to be a big deal for some of you as well. I'm just going to populate that. We have hope again. Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down. Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down after 14 years of leading Lucasfilm. Oh, God, thank you. Thank you. You destroyed Star Wars for me, lady. You destroyed one of the greatest franchises, the top 3 franchises in cinema history. I was so giddy last night. I was so happy. You have no idea. It's almost like I'm not excited because I'm just relieved. Thank God. Kennedy, who took charge in 2012, after Disney bought Lucasfilm, announced her departure effective week's end, meaning today is her last day. What a freaking blessing. Shifting to producing films like The Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026, Filoni, creator of Clone Wars, Mandalorian, and Ahsoka, becomes president and chief creative officer, while Brennan manages operations. With her 25 years of experience, her era brought hits like The Force Awakens, 2 billion haul, and Emmy-winning shows, though it faced flops such as Solo and fan debates over choices like The Last Jedi. This isn't that big of a, oh my gosh. The Force Awakens was the first film back in like a decade or longer of Star Wars, and people were excited to see it again. He brought back Harrison to be Han Solo. You brought back like the main people. Of course, people are getting excited for that. I mean, the nostalgia and everything like that. The issue is, too, it's not the fact that you pumped out a lot of money. You created garbage, man. You created garbage is what it was. There was a comment here. Kennedy may have stepped down, but it's going to be meet the new boss, same as the old one. Mark my words. I think there's an element of truth to that. But at least Filoni has produced stuff like the Clone Wars that people really, really like. Every Star Wars fan I talk to, one of the go-tos is, have you watched Clone Wars? I mean, this guy, he's loved and hated. You are, I mean, you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. Yo, no. But this is good news. I can't remember if she had her paws in the last 2 Indiana Jones films as well. But if my big franchises that are still kind of ongoing, Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and she destroyed, if she had her hands in Indiana Jones, helped destroy that too. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my last hope. That's Dave Filoni. Anyways, I want to share that news with you guys. That is great news. And people are celebrating. People are celebrating in the streets. Anywho, that's great news. Oh, here we go. Opinion. Yep, these are all the ones. Star Trek, Star Wars, MCU, DCU, Lord of the Rings, James Bond, Indiana Jones, The Witcher, Sandman, Ghostbusters. I don't think she really had her hands in all of these. It looks like she did in Indiana Jones. Did she really have her hands? Maybe she's a producer in some of these films. But, man. Was she a DEI hire? I don't know. I don't think so. So, to be fair, her resume is insane. She's been around with a lot of these great films early on. If I was in George Lucas's position, since she was around when George Lucas was doing all this phenomenal stuff with Indiana Jones and Star Wars, and, she was producing great films way back when, I kind of understood his mindset of like, oh, wow, this is a great opportunity to put her forward. She's helped me, be a successful director and film creator. I understand where he's coming from. I don't think it was a DEI hire. This one I actually don't. But I think her politics did seep in. And I do think that she started doing DEI hiring and pushing narratives in her films. That's what I mean. It's not just me that thinks that. So hopefully we have a resurrection of culture, and that could be one of the elements of it. Well, let's see what we have here. Just so you guys know, Elon Musk is posting Nick Shirley stuff that we talked about yesterday. We watched during Dark Maga. It was open to everybody yesterday at 4 p.m. We resurrected Dark Maga for a day. And we watched the whole 51 minutes of Nick Shirley's investigation. We'll put it in air quotes. It wasn't really an investigation. It was just like seeing if things existed or not. For the Minnesota fraud stuff that's going on. It's just so crazy, dude. Oh, yeah, this building's not here. Let's go to the next one. Oh, yeah, this place doesn't exist. Let's go to the next one. Oh, yeah, this one doesn't exist either. And a bunch of Somali people coming out yelling at him the entire time. Freaking nuts, man. There's a video here that Elon Musk retweeted. And we'll kind of populate this. Let me actually go to the link here for all of you, and we'll kind of read it, and then we'll watch it. It says, independent journalist was able to gain access to a building in Los Angeles, California, because the page-in system to get in was broken. What he discovered was dozens of home health care and hospice businesses in one building. Some of the doors don't even have the signs for the business, and many of the names just sound fake. Like, I was gonna make a lot of like silly puns about like, I'm not gonna do that, but here we go.
All right, you guys, so I had to actually get my way in here because the numbers weren't working to be paged in, but look at what this is uncovering. Hospice, home health care, Allegiance Home Health, Honeywell Home Health, Wellspring Home Health, Golden Touch Home Health, Amazing Health, Dignity Care Hospice, Moonlight Hospice Incorporated, Thousand Oaks Hospice Incorporated, Premier Home Care Agency, Altruistic Hospice Incorporated, Capital Hospice Care Incorporated. Some of those don't even have signs on their doors, and the ones that did weren't answering or had a Ring camera. There were 2 people that were actually in the office. They gave me brochures and numbers, so we're gonna find out what's going on.
Well, that's always a good sign that they gave you something. It's more than what these Somali businesses are doing over there in Minnesota. I will say, I just want to go back. Some of these places might not even be in operation. I'm just playing devil's. I'm not saying every single one, or there could be fraud, definitely. It is a little odd. There's so many hospice places in this building. Like, look, guys, I don't know if he's bringing up just because there's so many healthcare or so many things happening in one building. Like, I know when, like, I think it was last year, I had to go get orthotics, and I went to one of those cliche, you know, they're big buildings, and it's just like this, where there's the first floor, second floor, third floor, and there's tenants there's businesses all in the building. And if you look at it, there's like, oh, there's a foot doctor, you know, there's another foot doctor in the building, and then there's, you know, all these other offices that are attributed to health as well. At one point I was like, oh, well, this is fraud. I was like, oh yeah, this is clearly a building that is known for health. That's kind of the way I looked at it. So this doesn't really bug me all that much, other than like a lot of hospice, which is very sad, but it could be, you know, looked into. And some of these places might have went out of business. The guy never just changed. I mean, they look like they cut him out with pieces of paper, yo. I mean, they have these here, the little things that you punch in, that snap in. I mean, maybe use those for this, not printing them out on a piece of paper and just like taping it to the board is a little ghetto, but whatever. Anywho, he's going to investigate it.
Dude, another building with several agencies.
At least they have a sign on the door. I don't know why he stopped it there, but they have a sign on the door and it's printed, which is nice. And, you know, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., you know, a lot of these guys, they're not in the office all day. For example, like my childhood doctor, he had his own office, very similar to this, but there was others, like 1 or 2 other doctors in there that you can go see. But there was times where he just wasn't going to be there because he's also going to the hospital, seeing his patients in the hospital that he's, you know, their doctor for. Like if I was in the hospital and something terrible was going on, he would show up to the hospital and see and, you know, help out and stuff like that. Other times this is very accurate. Like they're not in all hours. So I don't know. For me, this one is kind of a little bit of a dud. I think it's good to bring awareness, and that maybe we need to have a little bit more transparency on these businesses to see what's legit and not, especially if, you know, our tax money is going to them. I don't know if that was a private business or what. That guy could have just showed up to a random building, trying to get clout or something like that. And hey, if he is, you know, whatever, he's on the grind. But we're going to end it there. I got to go into work just a tad bit early today. But man, so you got Donald Trump possibly invoking the Insurrection Act. You got him possibly threatening Iran with strikes. And you have the abortion pill being heard. And a lot of stuff, man. There's so much stuff. You got Kathleen Kennedy. And then you have this Karen coming out of the woods like she's Hillary Clinton screaming at people.
I think it's a legendary Karen.
Hand to God. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can do this. 1 second. Everybody just give me a moment. Okay. Damn it. You already saw who it was. Let's just pretend you didn't see it. Okay? Let's just pretend.
First.
What do you think that is? What do you think that is? Like, if you had to guess.
I think it's a legendary Karen.
Dude, tell me that doesn't sound like a crow. Like some species of bird. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I don't know. Parakeet? Like, you know, a pigeon? Listen to it again.
Get the hell out of here!
Yeah. Get the hell out of here. All right, I'll bring it back. I'll let you see the crazy.
You're not welcome! Go away! Fuck off!
This is literally how people discovered Hillary Clinton. When she lost against Trump, she was so devastated she went off into the woods. That is a real thing, by the way. That is a real thing. A seagull? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, a seagull. Ah!
Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off!
This is gonna be a meme. This person's not well.
Fuck off!
Those are decoys, not ducks. Fucking retard.
Those are decoys, not real ducks.
Oh, fuck off! We don't want you shooting around here!
I don't give a fuck. I don't want you walking around here.
Oh, fuck off! This is public property!
Exactly my...
Oh, God, I can't believe I stumbled upon this greatness. What are the odds that we were blessed and to think we were going to end the show? Oh, foolish me. Foolish me.
Point. Thanks for proving our point.
Don't shoot anything alive, you fuck off!
These are already dead. These are already dead.
I don't care!
They're already dead.
I don't like shooting you, fuck off! You fuck off!
Those birds identified as dead already.
Oh, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
I love that she doesn't even take off her glove to flip them off.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, right.
Here. Now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, right when she's still there, they just delete one. So I thought she was throwing the rocks or pebbles at the at them, but she's throwing them at these fake ducks to try to get them to scatter to save their life. They're not even real. Oh God, that's I feel bad in a sense for her. It's always the liberal white women, man. Just unhinged, dude. If you had to guess, let's just say you never heard her before and her screaming. Yeah, see, it does sound like a crow. Yeah, see, Vanilla sees it. By the way, vanilla coconut, like a nice smoothie, sounds really good right now. If you had to guess where her politics align, what would you say? You're just taking a peek, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Let's just pretend you just see this Bigfoot walking out, right? Oh, it's a crazy. Like, get Steve Irwin out there. Oh, crikey. We got a liberal lit. We got a wild one, mate. She's coming. Look at the steps. Look at the anger. The pheromones are coming off of her, mate. Look at, she's clenching her, like she's ready to go. She's clenching her hands. That's how you know she's gonna pounce, mate. Look, she does. She really does. Look at she. Oh yeah. Oh. Dun 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 dun. She's doing the Nazi salute. Get her. This is unacceptable behavior, man. You should not be doing the Nazi salute. I learned what Elon Musk did, and you should not be doing that. That is shame. Shame. Everybody in the chat, put it in there. Shame. 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 It does remind me of Elizabeth Warren, too. Look at that. God. Well, if this goes viral, here's the plus side. One, we can use this all the time. And second, this is a cheap Halloween costume, folks. This is a cheap costume you can get. There ain't much to this. You know what I mean? I just want to go back here. I love this part where she flips them off and doesn't even take off her glove. You know what the only other thing that would have made this better, and it's very mean. You see how there's a rock here? What are the odds that she just tripped over that and just fell on her face and like scorpioned up? you know? At that point, I think it would have been AI. Oh, it's incredible. And then just go delete the bird. I mean, the timing, you know, that this is what I mean, is that I really do think God has a sense of humor, and I think he's on our side. And I really do believe he saved Trump. I really do believe that, by the way. And I think this is him showing his humor. The fact that a duck flies in 1 second after, you can't see the time code. It's literally 1 second after she's done. And just to piss her off more, God was like, you know what, boys? Here's one for you. Here's one for you. And as I've always mentioned, and I said this previously, whoever's running the simulation that we're living in, I think they're on our side. And I think they have a sense of humor just as we do. And I think the person running the simulation isn't happy and doesn't like these liberal white women either. It's a theory. It's just a theory. Don't come at me. All I'm saying is, I mean, you light it up. You light it up. I'm liking the guy or gal or being or whatever's running the show here on this simulation, because I'm getting a kick out of it. Not always. It's a devious person, but it's pretty fun. All righty. Well, I had to finish this. Even if I'm going to be a teensy bit rushed, I had to enjoy that with you guys. You know, when you want to show something new to somebody, you get all giddy, right? And we could laugh and have fun. We got to end off right. We're going to the weekend, folks. We have to have a good time. We got blessed. Yep, we got blessed with more content. All righty. Well, have a good weekend. Share that with your friends and family. Here, I'll give it to you guys. Dinesh D'Souza posted it. Let me, there you go. It's in the chat for all of you. It'll be over there at Rumble. And it should also display on YouTube as well. But if you need it, it's Dinesh D'Souza's page, and you can find it right here. And it looks like American AF, who actually follows us, by the way, posted it. So, all right, folks, we'll have a blessed weekend. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for everybody in the chat for our health and our safety. And I will see you Monday for Martin Luther King Day. We'll see what that holds. We'll probably have a little bit longer broadcast. I don't have work that day, so that's pretty exciting. 3-day weekend for me. Hooray! Bye, Patriots.